Final week of the regular season, playoff spot on the line for the Brandeis Broncos. They need a win against Reagan to make the tournament. We'll pick it up in the second quarter. Rattlers leading 14-7, and quarterback Caleb Capuccio looking for more. Around the left side he goes, and he barrels his way into the end zone to extend the lead 21-7 for the Rattlers. But the Broncos put a drive together before the break, and tough running by a couple of guys. Noah Logsdon with some patient running using his blocks closes the gap. They missed the extra point, so the Rattlers up 21-13 at halftime. Reagan's game plan was pretty simple, though, in the second half. Just run the dang ball. Give it to their stud, Cole Pryor, and he does the rest. And he'd keep on running, too. Later in the third, he's going to find the end zone again, going right up the gut of that Brandeis defense. This made it 35-13 for Reagan. And from that point on, the Rattlers threw it into cruise control. Just going for style points now as Wallace Coleman Jr. gets the give on the read option. He goes in for the end zone. Complete domination by Reagan in the second half. Rattlers win 42-13.
Offense, defense, kicking game. Played a complete second half. Don't know that we did that the first half, but finished the way we wanted to, and had some young kids step up into some big roles tonight, and getting closer to playing that complete complementary football game in all three phases of the game.
They sure are. Congrats to Coach Hamilton and the Rattlers on the win. So Brandeis gets knocked out in 27-6A. That means Clark gets the final spot in that district. Welcome to Week 11 of the Friday Night Fever, the final week of the regular season. Let's get right back to the highlights. A good one up the road in Boerne. Kerrville Tivy needing a win to secure their spot against Boerne to make the postseason. After a Tivy punt, Boerne marches right down the field, and Jeff Morrison takes it in to make it 7-zip Greyhounds. On their next possession, Hank Hendricks dumps it off to Zach Frazier, and look at him tiptoe down the sideline, and he's in for the score, make it 14-0 Boerne. It was all Greyhounds in this one as they win 49-21. One other score from that district tonight, Victoria West thrashing Veterans Memorial 54-21. And with that result, Tivy maybe backdoors their way into the postseason there. The New Braunfels Unicorns beat Wagner 41-14, and the Canyon Cougars blow out San Marcos 52-7. The Brennan Bears have been crushing people for the past 2 months, going for their 9th straight win, and Malik White is cruising to the goal line here, and then he's going to end up looking for some contact as he goes in for the score. The Bears defense would force a punt, and a nice screenplay to Melvin Kahn is going to get Brennan down inside the 5. White would go in for his second score. A couple plays later, the Bears rolling once again. Another shutout, and they'll get a rematch with Reagan in the first round. Final spot in 28-6A up for grabs at Ferris Stadium. O'Connor and Taft facing off. Winner moving on. The loser goes home. Raiders get on the board first as Tucker Vogel connects with David Aguirre. Taft up 10-zip. Later in the first, Vogel rolling out. He finds Raymond Foster on the 8-yard pitch and catch. The Raiders pulling away early as Tucker's going to sneak one in. Taft up 27-10 at the half, and the Raiders cruise the rest of the way. They will face the Johnson Jaguars next week. Some more scores now. Madison and Roosevelt in a tight one, 30-22. The Mavericks with the lead. South San gets a win over Eagle Pass win, 32-7. And the Jefferson Mustangs, man, they have come on strong here at the end, 35-7 over Edison. They lock down second place in their district. The Holy Cross Knights have been one of the more impressive teams in our area all season long, looking to cap off an undefeated regular season, in A.J. Uhia with an easy touchdown run puts them on the board first. Then a great play by Marcus Perez. Look at him high point the ball for the pick. And then a few plays later, SA Sports All-Star Gilbert Alvarado sling it out to Nick Hall, and Nick does the rest. 78-yard house call. Knights go undefeated and get their 5th shutout of the season. Man, the Knights impressive. A big rivalry game going on between Antonian and Central Catholic. The Apaches going for a perfect record in district play, but Central Catholic gets out to a 27 lead thanks to that Joseph Carillon touchdown run. Later, the Antonian defense coming up with a huge play. Aaron Molina gets the pick off the deflection. The Apaches tied up as Aiden Bernal goes for a long touchdown run after that catch, 50 yards to the house. Buttons were up at halftime, and they are hanging on to a lead 41-34 in the fourth. Now to some 4A scores. Davenport has the top spot in District 14 4A. Somerset stops a good run for Fredricksburg. Both those teams are playoff bound though. So is Canyon Lake as they beat Pleasanton 42-24. And the Uvalde Coyotes closing in on a win over Kennedy to end their season. Final week of the regular season, so it's time for the Frontier Bowl. Will Harlandale or McCollum get the bragging rights this year? Dominic Zapata gets the Cowboys the first points of the game, and then later the Indians going to roll the dice on 4th and goal, and the McCollum defense gets a big stop at the goal line, turns them over, but after a punt, Harlandale finds the end zone in the second quarter as Julian Aguillon runs it in from short range, but the Cowboys end the season on the high note. They get the win 34-18 tonight. Carrizo Springs was undefeated in district play. Not anymore. Bandera beats them by a point. The Bulldogs 8-2 headed to the postseason. Divine no trouble with Memorial. They're also playoff bound. And the Lavernia Bears beat El Campo 28-7. Now we've got more to come here on the Fever. Some more post-game reaction from our game of the week, plus more scores from around the area when the Friday Night Fever rolls on.
Day Henry Sports Desk.
Welcome back to the Fever. Reagan coming out on top over Brandeis 42-13. Complete domination by the Rattlers in the second half. Cole Pryor with a second half running the ball.
Having momentum going to the playoffs and clicking on all cylinders is really important for us as a team. It instills confidence and makes it like all the training we do every day outside makes it worthwhile.
All right, now to some more scores. Big one in District 15 3A Division 2. Poth undefeated, but the Dilley Wolves were right behind them. The Pirates, though, claiming another district championship as they win 23-7. Cotulla takes down Karnes City 36-19, and Stockdale beats Nixon Smiley 22-16. In 13 3A Division 1, Llano beats Ingram Moore 35-14. Llano is 9-1. The Rohawks pick up a 35-7 win over Luling, and Marion puts a whooping on Florence 65-20. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Quickly closing things out with some scores here. The Jourdanton Indians go undefeated in district play as they beat Lytle 42-22, and Crystal City squeaking one out against Cole 28-27. Close game there, and Poteet gets a win over the Hondo Owls 41-20. Blanco is going to the playoffs as they complete a perfect district schedule, beating Comfort 40-7. Shiner smacks down Yorktown 54-13. The Comanches a perfect 5-0 in district play, and Fall City blows out Pettis 47-6. The playoff brackets should be released sometime tomorrow night. We'll break down all the matchups, and we'll see you right back here.